Use, we've been gone for a few weeks. Gerard Piqué retired and then got a red card at halftime against Osasuna today in one of the best wins under Xavi. Not the glamour and luster of some of those big wins at the end of springtime last season, but we come back. We have our main center backs injured. We have our left back Balde filling in as a right back. Top goal scorer gets a red card. First time we see Lewandowski act a little bit out of pocket and elbow an Osasuna player straight in the face. Playing with 10 men for 70 minutes. Busquets giving away goals at the beginning of the game, us going down 1-0, and we came back and we won.
Yeah.
And this is the type of resiliency I've been waiting to see from this team, right? Of course, in the classic Barca fashion, doesn't happen in Europe when we, really need to win, although we did see some fight against Inter Milan at home. But I'm elated, because we have Frenkie de Jong with the beautiful assist to Rafinha in the 86th minute to get that goal. Rafinha's heating up. He had that assist for Lewandowski against Valencia. Frenkie de Jong's heating up. Scored at the weekend against Almeria, and then here with the beautiful assist, playing as a center back. And so, there's a lot of things to be questionable about still, right? Our offense continues to be lackluster. We're pressed back in that first half really, really badly against Osasuna. Busquets continues to get chosen by Xavi, even though he, is more and more of a defensive liability as the months go on. But we got one of those wins, and it just this group kind of has that ragtag feeling in La Liga, where after every other game we're saying, you got to win these type of games to win the league. You got to win these type of games to win the league. But, hey, they did it.
Yeah, they certainly did, and I'm kind of baffled, because if you think about this whole season, we talk about how our first half usually looks good, and then going into the second half, we don't do too well. And this was the opposite of that. And the team really, as you said, was resilient, and were able to hold against Osasuna, even going down 1 goal and 1 man. And I can't give it more props to this team to be able to fill the gaps that the injuries that have caused so many issues, right? Alonso playing that center back position, and then we even had Frenkie de Jong, like you said, drop back in the center back. But it's really this team's mindset that is in today's game that let them continue on, push through, score 2 goals, and win it. And after the game, you see, if you watch the video, they're all chanting and jumping together, and this young squad is just so excited to take 5 points ahead of Real Madrid coming into the international break. And I was so worried coming into this last week that we were going to crumble, drop these opportunities to take the league after Real Madrid had lost that game. But look in the position we are. We're 5 points ahead. Real Madrid still have a chance to get 3 points, but we're still going to be going good. And I'm just excited. I don't think...
but not only that, man. I would have to check the stats across all of Europe, but we have to have the best defense in league play in the top 5 leagues across Europe, right? Through 12 games, we've allowed 5 goals. It is insane to say the least. And even when I think a lot of people would agree that our offense has been a bit lackluster, we still have 33 goals for this season, and Real Madrid have 31. And so... it's a confusing year, right, with how we evaluate Xavi and how we've had such a bad dropout in the Champions League. We haven't been on for so long now, about 10 days, that we haven't covered. We're playing Manchester United in the Europa League. But overall, I'm really happy. I think Osasuna made some pretty bad mistakes in this game. I felt like they kept going after they were up 1-0 and we were down a man. And if they had parked the bus instead, they would have probably left with at least 1 point, if not 3. And so, a little bit bad on their end. In terms of Xavi, again, I can't be happy with the continuous shoehorning in of Busquets into almost all of our lineups. But, we made adjustments when we went down a man. Instead of going with that usual high-pressure defense that, can leave Busquets exposed, we, settled for a mid-block. We kind of put the press a little bit deeper in the field, and we were able to weather the storm and win the game, right? And we made some great subs. Unfortunately, Christensen left, so we put in Gavi. We put in Rafinha for Dembele. And it just looks like overall, as the season grows, that benchmark we keep saying over and over, right? We just want to see improvement. Well, it looks like Xavi is finding a way to get Frenkie de Jong to be his best self. Like I mentioned, Rafinha with the goal today and the assist against Valencia, he's starting to put on more goals and assists, which are very important for this team. Jordi Alba, again, something I've been saying throughout the season that I think, he could use some starting time, especially with how well he combines with Ferran Torres on that left side and how well he combines with Pedri on that left side. And so the team, is sparking up and doing a lot better. And I'm fairly happy with how we've ridden it out. I mean, again, sucks we're in the Europa League, but to be top of the league, even if Madrid win, we're still up by 2 points. That is phenomenal heading into this World Cup break.
Yeah, and to really add on to what this team is really performing in today's game is that typically we end up with a lot of possession, and we don't do a lot with that possession. But in today's game, the possession was about 50-50 here, and Osasuna had 15 shots, we had 9 shots, and we were able to execute, right? We were able to score 2 goals. I think we had 3 shots on target, and Osasuna also had some good shots on target, and we were able to defend them. Ter Stegen, on a couple opportunities, were able to block it and keep Osasuna out, and then I think Gavi at the very end was able to block that shot that I was worried was going to tie it, right? So, even though there are times in this game where I was worried, I didn't think we were going to be able to hold out, we did, right? And how many opportunities can Osasuna have that we stop? Because there's other games where we just can't do that. We can't keep Inter Milan out, right? They scored 3 goals against us. That's huge. It also, right, this is also the duality of European football versus Spanish football that we see is we can't really perform at the same caliber against European teams as we do in La Liga. But I think our eyes are set on La Liga right now, and we have a big chance here. We can really take it home. I know it's still too early, but I think the stat is we have 37 points out of a possible 42 this season already, which is very heartwarming, right? Because we have an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, and I think, to your point, if you think our drops in Champions League in the group stages are, more mentality based than it is like the players we have on the field, right? Because we've talked about how this team's gotten a lot better with Koundé, Lewandowski, subs like Alonso, Balde coming up. Like, we're a lot better team than last year, and we should have made it further. If you think it's really a mentality issue with why we keep dropping these big Champions League games, and games like today will mean a lot, right? And it's not, winning against Osasuna away are not the type of games that'll get ESPN football or BR football to really be writing about how this team is building something. But for all of us fans who are sitting here week in and week out, we understand that this helps Pedri, this helps Gavi, this helps Frankie, this helps Balde put in the back of their minds the idea that this is a different Barca and we can win. Right, so many of our comebacks through the Valverde, Setien, even Koeman era with Griezmann and the Copa del Rey, so many of those comebacks always felt a little bit like, well, Messi saved the day, right? And Messi's always our crutch. And so even though we would get these small mentality victories throughout La Liga and Copa del Rey and sometimes Champions League, they really didn't amount to much because it was always just kind of, well, Messi saved our backsides, right? These, I'm hoping, will help build up all of our young players. That's kind of the beauty of this season is that we have a little bit of our, we have our cake and we're eating it too. It's like we have this young team that's going to keep building. We have this, inexperienced coach in Xavi that's going to keep learning. But at the same time, we are winning the games that can take us to a league title. And so all we can do is be happy right now, right? Heading in this World Cup break, everyone praying for Messi to win with Argentina. Hopefully, if you're going for Brazil or Spain or France, I hate you. But, we can just be happy with the development of this team. I think one of the players that you and I probably have not given the roses to as much as we should is Balde, who just continues to be a great star. Defensively, he's doing very good, and then offensively, we've kind of seen him get more and more confidence. We see him dribbling with the ball more. He has electric speed that I don't think we saw a lot at the beginning of the season. And, he has a right to be upset that some of the reports were saying about him not starting in the Champions League and how Alonso would start, but now it seems like Xavi has given, his full confidence to Balde. And then on the flip side, right, speaking of Alonso, he was, criticized a lot when we signed him this summer because he's not that good defensively. And to be honest, he's putting in a pretty great defensive rate, right? He seems very calm. He had quite a few headers of the ball against Osasuna where he was heading the ball out of the box, out of dangerous positions. And so Alonso and Balde, I'm, pretty impressed with overall.
Yeah, and I think the grander point here is the players are stepping up and they're filling the shoes that they need to fill to get this team where it needs to be. It's a slow process. It's daunting, but step by step, it seems like we're able to make progress. There's setbacks, every once in a while, but We're keeping up with a Real Madrid team who was they didn't have Benzema last game, which may be why they lost that game. But it doesn't matter, right? The results are speaking for themselves as of now. And we're just going to be sitting here. We got a nice long break, and then we come back, and we're going to have a little bit of a tough schedule. We play Betis twice, Atletico Madrid, and Espanyol in the first 4 games. So we do have
that's over a month and a half away, okay?
I know.
Let's just bask in the glory of now. It must be said, Gil Manzano is an absolute clown, up there with Hernandez and Laos for just clown referees who always give bad calls against Barca on that first and only Osasuna goal. Yeah. How that was not a foul when the offensive player just literally barrel rolled and pushed Alonso over is crazy to me. But like you're saying, I mean, we have the World Cup coming. There's some rumors that Araujo is going to be healthy and playing for Uruguay. I know that's given us all PTSD from the Umtiti 2016 World Cup debacle when he, sacrificed himself for his country. Don't think Uruguay are going to make it quite as far, so hopefully it's less strain than Umtiti faced. But, imagine when we come back from international break and our defensive line is Balde, Araujo, Christensen, and Koundé. Doesn't that sound a lot better than what we've been seeing for the last 2 months? It does to me. And then imagine a midfield where, Xavi and Busquets see that Piqué did what, needed to happen, right? He had to quit. He had to renounce his wages for the season, even though he'll still be getting some deferred wages from previous contracts. But, we'll see Xavi hopefully phase out Busquets more and more, perhaps use him as a super sub where his, fresher old legs will be able to do more on the pitch for us. And I think we have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we have to just take what we got and we got to run, with what we have. So I'm happy. We just got to take the break that we have. Wish the best of luck to all the players coming into the World Cup. And we're going to have some exciting times. Hopefully, nobody gets injured. We stay healthy and we continue on. But
yeah, I think Yus and I will probably do some videos about World Cup games that we watch. I think we'll do some videos, maybe doing a little bit of a commentary about how the first half of the season has gone and what we see in the second half. And, as always, thank you for your support. If you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review if you would. If you're on YouTube, please like and comment. Let us know your thoughts, how excited you are about top of La Liga into the World Cup break. Thank you all.
Thanks, guys.